Hey folks, Military Gun Guy here. I wanted to do a quick video on the latest craze in AK finishing, which is the battlefield pickup look. I'm actually working on a Polish Tantal. You can see the rifle here. This one had the original finish on it. It had some quote-unquote battlefield wear on it. What I did actually, I've been stripping it down, and what I did was experiment with a few techniques. The one that I seem to be liking is removing the paint. Obviously the barrel's in the white, but removing the paint. The receiver is a black oxide. So what I'm actually going to do is sand the finish off of it with just a sanding block, and then paint it, and then basically scrub it off. But I wanted to show the process. This is the cover for the Tantal. What I used was some brake cleaner, which I don't have. But anyway, it's just a generic brake cleaner. I sprayed it down really well. The brake cleaner does two things. First of all, it degreases the metal, and it also removes the finish itself. So it kind of works out where it will get it down to a bare metal. Actually, you'll find there's sort of a primer underneath underneath the original black paint. I went with this Duplicolor. Where is it? There it is. Focus. I went with this Duplicolor engine enamel. It's a low gloss black. You can get it at any automotive repair shop, or not repair shop, but automotive parts place. Even a place I hear called McFadden Dale here in Vegas. And what I did was I sprayed it real well, cleaned it off really well, and this you can see the color on the inside. But I sprayed it and then I baked it for about 400 degrees, 390 degrees for roughly about an hour. It bakes the finish on really nicely, and then once it cools off, then basically what I do, and you don't have to do this exactly, but you can do it similar. You can use any kind of oil. I'm using this Gibbs. I use this as a cutting oil. It works really well. But basically you just go in, and again, you can use motor oil or probably even WD-40, and just kind of lightly coat the areas. You can see where I've already started on the front of it. I'm just going to finish up the back. And you're just scrubbing, basically, and using 4/0 steel wool, nothing fancy. And as you're scrubbing, the finish starts to wear away on the high spots. Battlefield pickup obviously is infinitely customizable. You can go super worn off. You can do, where it's barely touched. Completely up to you as to how crazy you want it. The current rage seems to be guns that looks like they've been in the Balkan Wars, all carved up and shit. So, well, I prefer the shiny new looking guns. My friend prefers the Battlefield, been there, done that. So we are going to give him Battlefield pickup. And as you can see, as I'm scrubbing, the color, or the paint, is actually slowly wearing off. It's good to bake it on there because it gives it a little more resilience. It doesn't just wipe right off. It makes you work a little bit harder, but you can also control the degree of paint, or the amount of paint that's coming off with the amount that you scrub it. So I don't really recommend doing any bead blasting or anything. Just basically take the gun down to bare metal, degrease it really well, make sure all the grime and stuff is out of it if it's like a used rifle, and then paint it, stick it in the oven for an hour, about 400 degrees. Take it out and boil it down and start scrubbing. So when you're done, you'll end up with this sort of nice worn finish on it. Again, you can customize it as much as you want. It's a super simple process. You don't have to use the Duplicolor. You can use different formulas of paint. I was trying to sort of replicate the color of paint that was on there, which was kind of like a low gloss black. I like the automotive stuff. This Duplicolor is rated to 500 degrees. Not like the cover will, but some of the other parts will probably get pretty hot. But that also sort of adds to the look of the Battlefield pickup. So, and you'll actually find that you'll have to scrub pretty hard because some of these areas are going to be pretty tough, even with the 4/0 steel wool. It's just not going to come off that easy, which is kind of good. So, anyway, that's a quick primer on Battlefield pickup. If you have any questions, militarygunguy702@gmail.com. Check out my website, militarygunguy.com. My Instagram account, same name. And like I said, advice is always free. Any questions, let me know, and good luck.